What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 168, Thursday, January 18, 2024. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Rick. This episode of Gameoverse is brought to you by amateur stand-up comedy. Oh God, that's not funny. Like painfully unfunny.
Why? So a crab walks into a bar, and the bartender goes, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Get the fuck out of here! What the fuck? Get out of here! Get out of here!" And kicks him out. There's another guy sitting at the bar, and he's like, "What? What was all that about?" And the bartender goes, "Man, that guy. Every time he walks in here, it's nothing but this. You know what? That's a visual gag. That's a visual gag there. But so the joke actually doesn't work. But there's a visual part to that you don't get to see, and that's the whole joke.
I have I used to do stand up at this open mic at a local comedy club here in town, and I would go all the time. I can't now because like I have a kid and a wife, so I can't be at a club till like 3 a.m. anymore when I have work the next day and a family at home. So, but a buddy of mine was gonna perform recently, so I went to that club and watched him. But he came in too late to sign up for it, so he couldn't do anything. It's just really annoying because a lot of the people there like just are painfully unfunny. Every once in a while you get like a really, really good comic, but most of the time like they're just painfully unfunny, and it kind of hurts to like.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. That's right. I mean, like, I can't talk because like I work in a very boring industry. I work in insurance, so I don't exactly have a lot of like. Insurance isn't funny, so it's hard to write jokes for it. Like, I can't just walk up on stage and be like, "Hey, two Jews walk into a bar, and your insurance says they don't cover that." Like, I don't have a joke to like really work with that. That would like be funny. So I talk a lot about like, I used to talk about like how much I didn't want kids, and I can't do that anymore. So,
or you could.
I could still just like, I don't care if he hears this. Fuck him. But no, my wife and I went to that recently, and it was painfully unfunny. A lot of old people in the crowd for some reason, like over 50 at least.
Wow.
Like I think, yeah, a lot of them. Like half the crowd was like over 50. And we're like, what's going on here? Like, don't they have like a bedtime, like a funeral to get to? Like, what's going on? Like, that's a lot of old people.
But see, that would be like good. One of my favorite comedy things is crowd work, where you just like fuck with the crowd. Like, you don't really go up with material. You just look at who's out there and just fuck with the people. One of my favorite comedians is Big J Okerson. And that's all he does. Yeah. That's all he does is just fuck with the crowd.
It's hard to do that though, because you can get like Big J crowd work, or you can get like Matt Rife crowd work. Where you're like, hey, this guy in the shirt, yeah, this guy, the shirt guy.
But I think that's why I like it so much, because being like into comedy, you know how hard it is to do that.
Yeah.
So it makes it like so much funnier. Because some people see that shit and they don't like get it. But it's like, you know, it's like good, like it's like watching good freestyle rap, or just good rap in general. Like at some level, if you know rap, you can like look at, or you can hear what's happening and know how impressive it is. But a lot of people, if they don't know the techniques, it's like they don't really understand why it's impressive.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And it's something that like, I wish more people had an appreciation for like how much work actually goes into like being funny, you know, doing like freestyle rap, like because people who are good at it make it look super easy. Like that's the thing. If you're really good at it, you make it look super easy. Like
it's the same thing of like, it's like knowing, it's like, you know, those magicians they'll do a trick and then they'll like step by step show you how they did the trick. And then they'll do the trick again. Now you know how it's done. And when you see it again, you're like, I still don't even fucking know. It's like that.
Oh my God, there's this show. There's this really good show. Do you know who Oh God, Penn and Teller are the music.
Yeah. Of course.
They did this show called like Try to Fool Us or something. Basically, the
Yeah.
gimmick of the show is that it's a magic show. They would bring like younger or sometimes older, but amateur up and coming magicians on stage to do a trick. And they would give them time to do one trick, as much time as they need to do that one trick. And they would be up there watching them. And if they can guess how they did the trick, it does two things. One, I guess that person, they get paid to be on there. So they get like, a little paycheck. They get to go to, I think they were shooting in LA, so they get to go to LA for free. But also they get to perform this trick in front of people, get some exposure out there. And it was a contest. If Penn and Teller can guess how you did the trick, you lose. But if they can't guess it, you win another trip to Nevada and you get to open for them on one of their shows.
Yeah.
And you would get like all kinds of comedians, like young and old, all amateur comedians or magicians that would go up on stage and do these tricks. And what's cool is that they would do the trick, it'd be impressive, and you'd see them whisper to each other. They'd be like talking to each other away from the mic. And they would come back and give a hint, like, hey, can you still do that trick without your ring on?
Yeah.
And the guy would be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I think we know how you do this. And because I mean, the idea is you don't want to ruin someone's like trick, right? If they're like if they're like an amateur magician, they have this one awesome trick. The audience might not be able to figure it out, so you don't want to like ruin it. So they would like do these hints, like, "Hey, if you didn't have that tablecloth, can you still do the trick?" Or
Yeah. Or they'll hint at the whatever like the core of the trick is called. They'd be like, back in Egypt they had this thing called the shifting sands, and like that would be enough to be like, thanks, I'm gonna take my leave now.
yeah, it was super cool. It was a cool like gimmick for like a magic show that I really liked, and I wish like it stuck around a little bit longer. I think it only lasted like 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like even Penn and Teller, like they're such veterans in the sleight of hand and magic industry that they know fucking almost everything. So even the basis of all the tricks that most things are being developed on, and if you like stumping them is very impressive, because if they don't know it, then you really got something.
Oh shit, the show's still going.
Is it really?
It's called Penn and Teller Fool Us. It's been running since 2011. It's still going.
Yeah, that's one of my lifetime goals, is to see them live.
Oh, they're cool. Like they're funny dudes too. Like
Yeah.
legit, they're super funny. They had a show on HBO called like Bullshit, I think, that was like really good. Where they just like they kind of like disprove and discredit like really stupid like people. So stuff like anti-vaxxers, for example.
Yeah.
Like they would just sit there and just talk shit about how dumb they are and why they're wrong, and they would have great like visual gags up to like demonstrate it that were so funny. Like it's legit like hilarious. That show ran for a while, from like 2003 2010, but man, they're just cool dudes. Like they're just super cool dudes. Like when you hear about magicians, they have a kind of a stigma of like being weirdos, but no, Penn and Teller are super cool like showmen.
Yeah.
Like I would love to like see them live too. I bet they put on a great show. Anyway, we're a video game podcast, everybody.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's cool. I like talking about like stuff, even if it's not video game related. We both played quite a few games, some old, some new. You play Forspoken. I gotta ask you why.
So here's the thing.
Oh, here we go.
There's 2023 is over, and then all these like lists come out of games of the year and all that shit.
And
But
worst game of the year.
You get the list of worst games of the year, all right? And then Forspoken has been on that list, and people are wrong, dude. People are wrong about Forspoken.
Yeah, I'll admit, like that's bad. Like it's not a great game. It doesn't look like a good game, but in the same year we got games like Gollum, Kong, Skull Island. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones. A lot of bad games came out last year.
Yeah, the fucking
Like-
Walking Dead game.
Oh, there's one that squeaked out like right at the end of the year, like December. That was like really shitty. Can't remember what it was, but yeah, a lot of shit games came out last year.
The point is, I feel like even like Starfield ends up on that list, and I don't think Starfield or Forspoken is anywhere near bad enough to end up on a list like that.
Yeah.
For mainly because when it comes to Forspoken, the main thing anyone ever talks about is the story being bad or the dialogue being bad. No one talks about the fucking game.
Yeah.
And the game that's there is like pretty decent, man. It's like it's an actual fun game to play. So that's why I loaded it up. I loaded it up to play the fucking game and be like, look at this game. It's like fun. And like that's all. And the story that's there isn't even that bad, to be honest. Like the dialogue might be a little cringy, the story might be a little cringy. However,
is that a fucking dragon?
Yeah,
That's cringy to you?
But I'm reminded of 2001 comedy film, Martin Lawrence comedy film Black Knight.
Oh man, that's a movie I haven't heard of in a while.
Which
that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
But it's extremely similar to Forspoken in terms of it's like a yeah, it's like a guy who's like down on his luck or whatever, not really living the best life, and then gets pulled into this other universe where he ends up being the hero in that world, like not caring at first, but then something happens where he's like gets really invested and then ends up being the hero. And it's the same fucking story in Forspoken. And you know, people fucking on like Rotten Tomatoes, what was Black Knight? There's a 15% on the tomato meter.
I haven't seen the movie in a minute, so I couldn't tell you if that's fair or not.
It's fair, but dude, Black Knight is one of my favorite movies of all time. I can recite that movie, every line from that movie verbatim, okay? I fucking love that movie. It's a bad movie, but I like it, all right? Because it's got something there. And it's the same thing I said about Starfield. And it's the same thing like Forspoken. It might be bad objectively, but it's not like fucking.
It's not Gollum.
Yeah,
It's not The Day Before.
Yeah.
It's not King Kong Skull Island. Like
it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's my argument, is that I feel like people don't actually play. That's the thing. People don't fucking play the games. People just hear people talking about how bad something is and then really just over embellish how bad or even how good something might be. Even like Baldur's Gate, which people were talking about how fucking good that game is. No one's gotten to Act 3. The first 2 acts of that game, extremely polished, because that's what was available in the early access for several years. So the first 2 acts of that game, extremely polished. But then you get to Act 3, which was the actual new content when it released, and it's like that's where it fucking starts falling apart. But nobody knows that because no one's fucking playing that game. Everyone's just talking about how good it is based on the very polished front end of it.
Yeah.
They've been putting out a shitload of hot fixes for that game to fix the fucked up shit in Act 3 and beyond because it's fucked up. So like it goes both ways, like both positive and negative. But that brings me to my next thing, is that Suicide Squad. People who are I played the open or closed alpha test or whatever the fuck, and they're allowing people to talk about that now. Before it was under NDA, no one could talk about it, but I think now, since everyone's talking so much shit about it, that they're like, no, we gotta, those other people play this and they know.
Okay.
Suicide Squad. Again, it's another thing with, it's like not as bad as everyone's like, there's a screenshot going around of like the HUD and how super cluttered it is.
Okay, is it?
No, it's not, and that's the thing. Someone like took a screen grab of a very intense part of the whatever they were doing, and just like clip that and say, look how fucked up this HUD is. I'm gonna see if I can pull up IGN's footage here, because they I can't show my footage of the alpha, but I can show someone else's footage. And yeah, it's not, it's just it's a lot going on screen in terms of like explosions and effects and shit like that. Like, that is true, but like the HUD isn't as bad as any other fucking one of these games, man.
Really?
I think, a lot of games go towards like the minimalistic HUD thing, where it's like they don't, shit only pops in when you need it, or like not at all. Like, you do the Dead Space thing, or it's like your ammo's like on your gun or whatever. This doesn't really do that. The HUD's always there, but it's like not as bad as like a Destiny or something, I think.
Yeah.
Which is how this game plays. It plays like a Destiny. It's, everyone has guns. Everyone,
which I'm like not interested in at all.
But so when I play this, I didn't hate it. Okay, I did not hate it. What I liked the most about it were the characters, the interaction between the characters. The same thing I said about like Avengers. Like, the best part of Avengers was the story and the interaction between those characters, and a lot of the moments, like, it had a lot of good moments in there where it was like, oh shit, these fucking,
Yeah, no, I bet the game's great until you play it. Like,
yeah.
that's the thing. I don't like that the live service like type of gameplay, whereas everything's super spongy and you're trying to get better gear, so stuff's less spongy. It's just I'm not into it.
So that is probably the worst part of this game. I would say it's probably worse than Avengers, in that, at least in Avengers, everyone kind of played a little differently. Like, everyone had, like, if you were Captain America, you were using your shield a lot because it was Captain America. And like, if you're playing the Hulk, you were melee attacking everything because that's what the Hulk does. And this, not so much. Everyone's shooting, and everyone has a quote unquote melee attack, but it's not a melee attack. What the melee is, it's like a one hit thing where you hit them with the melee, they get knocked up in the air, and then when they're from the air, you can shoot them from the air and like air juggle them with bullets, and for guaranteed critical hits. And that's all the melee does. It's like a knock up, and then you shoot them from there and you get guaranteed crits. And like, I'm like, so I was playing as King Shark, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the melee guy. I don't know why I always gravitate towards the melee guy. Like in Avengers, I wanted to play the Hulk, and in this, I wanted to play King Shark because he looked like the melee guy. He is not the melee guy. Everyone uses guns, straight up. You are not melee attacking in this, which was a bummer. Yeah. So like, everyone is straight up the exact same. And that was the biggest bummer. There's like slight differences based on like, and their movement abilities. Harley Quinn has like a grappling hook where she can swing and kind of jump around, and Boomerang guy has he can teleport and run around real quickly. But other than that, it's not really. It's kind of the combat is really hectic and confusing,
Okay.
Because there's always shit just coming at you, and you're never quite sure what the fuck you should be focusing on. Because the readability of your situations is like non-existent. There's always shit. This is coming from Rocksteady, the guys that made the fucking Batman combat that every game copied in that generation. Where it's like, hey, there's a attack incoming, hit the fucking dodge button and counter it, and fucking, oh, you got your Spidey senses, and like Spider-Man is basically that now, right? Or like
Yeah.
most third-person action games copy that straight up. So
Oh, yeah.
for these guys to have lost all of that is mind-boggling, because
It's funny because like Gotham Knights came out and it just ripped off that like wholesale.
Yeah.
And the guy they were like Rocksteady's like B team. Like they did like Arkham Origins, I think. And so for them to do that, right, but the guys who made it like can't. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. There's like there's there's a shitload of different mechanics that you have to keep remembering while you're playing. Like an enemy will glow blue, and that's when you're supposed to shoot them because you get some shield back. Or they'll have an attack incoming, and that's when you do like your counter shot, and that'll counter them. And then you'll get like some health back or some shit. Or if you do a certain thing, it'll do like it seems like it's almost trying to do that Doom thing, where if you do certain actions, you get certain resources back. But in a game like this, where you're fucking surrounded by enemies and all of them have ranged attacks and you can't see them all at the same time, you don't know what's coming at you at any given moment, it's just super chaotic and hectic, and you just have no fucking clue what you're supposed to be doing. And you're like, oh, that guy's going blue over there, fucking counter him. And it's just a guy, it'll be like motherfuckers like all the way across the map, and it's like this guy's blue, or this guy has a unblockable incoming, and this guy's throwing some shit at me, and it's just it's very fucking hectic, very hectic. And I think that was the worst part of the game for me. It was just how fucking unreadable the combat was, to where I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be fucking doing. I'm just taking damage, and none of it even seems to matter. Yeah, it was
No, it doesn't sound fun at all. Like I had a feeling the game was gonna be like kind of like that. Like that's how kind of most of these live service games going. I'm not into that anymore, man. Like
yeah. We haven't even talked about the live service shit. Yeah, this is all just straight up the gameplay.
this is like day to day, like just
Yeah,
playing it.
yeah. Like the live service shit, and the alpha test didn't really rear its head, but it kind of ends before it really opens up that much, so you don't really get to see that part of it. But I don't even feel like that part, that doesn't even matter, because I think the core game here is just not it's just not gonna do it, really. So that's Suicide Squad. But again, I played the fucking game. A lot of these assholes out here are just like looking at screenshots like, man, look how shitty this looks. Oh wow, King Shark is just jumping all over the place. He's not even doing that much damage. Wow. It's like, look at this shit. Like, I actually played it, so I feel
fuck
like
all you motherfuckers. I know it's bad. I know it's bad, and why? Fuck all you.
yeah. Like, I'm not gonna just look at. It's the same thing where that guy like put a screenshot of the Starfield start menu and was like, "Well, look how bad this looks." And it's like, motherfucker, why don't you
Like,
play the game? Yeah,
Give it a minute. The game just started. God damn, there's a lot to rip into with Starfield. Like the menu is like not one of them.
yeah,
I'll argue the menu is the best part of Starfield because you're not playing it.
yeah.
Like, Jesus.
So yeah, the live service part of this game isn't even the problem. It's like its core is fucked. I feel like they just didn't know what they were making. And the problem is, so I think I said this last time I talked about this game, but The problem is Rocksteady is going to be in trouble when this comes
Yeah.
out. I feel like this game is going to come out, it's going to get 1 year of support, and then Rocksteady is going to put out that message of like, well, guys, they're closing the
Been a good run.
studio. Yeah. And it's going to be a bummer, but I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with this, man. I don't know what they were thinking. So
Probably the same thing Arcane was thinking with Redfall. We don't have a choice. Our publisher's making us do this.
yeah, I guess. I mean, at least Redfall had an idea, and they did what they could with it. I guess. But this, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this, because there's so many examples of this going wrong, and they did nothing to address any of the examples of it going wrong. Like Avengers laid the groundwork, I think. Even Anthem, you could go back and go like, okay, maybe we should not do what those guys did. But
Oh my god, I forgot Anthem existed. Like,
yeah,
I forgot that game came out. It was a thing.
yeah, I feel like now there's like so many examples that of this going wrong that you should know what to look at by now.
Yeah, I agree.
Even Destiny, which isn't doing too hot, but it had its heyday. I feel like there's so many examples to learn from now that they should just know. They should just know by now. It just doesn't seem like anyone learns. They just get blinded by, oh, we can make so much money by just attaching ourselves to this Marvel IP or this DC IP, and it'll just go right for us. But that's not true. It's just not true. So I like Rocksteady. They make great games. I hope that this is not the end of Rocksteady. But I don't know, man. I don't know. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But like, the problem with these live service games that they're very expensive to make. Like,
yeah.
that's why a lot of these studios that make them fucking close down, because they're so expensive to make. And if you're not making that return on investment, like, it pisses off like stockholders, it pisses off like the publisher, and then cutbacks have to happen.
And there's just too many of them. Not that but I mean, you need people to be playing this for the rest of their lives for it to
Basically,
really.
yeah.
But there's so many of them that everyone's already picked that one game that they're playing for the rest of their lives. For a lot of people, it's like Destiny. For a lot of people, it's Genshin Impact. And I feel like there's not enough. I feel like there's not enough space for new ones of these anymore.
I agree.
That like everyone's kind of picked that one thing that they're playing. Call of Duty for a lot of people, that's a live service game now. Or like World of Warcraft or a lot of MMOs. I just feel like it's like too thin now. I don't know how much is left to go around. How much of that pie is left. So, but yeah, we'll find out. This will be interesting to watch. I'm probably going to play this at some point just because
Yeah.
I'm curious, or maybe not. I mean, I played it already and I got my fill from that, but I don't know. Like the story seems good. The story seems good, so I like a good story. Seems okay. Characters
Yeah.
are okay. Forspoken is okay. Like story wise, it's the exact kind of stupid bullshit story that I like. Like it's real dumb, and that's what I like about it. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah,
All right. No, it looks like I said, I'm done with these types of games. So as soon as I saw what the game was about, I'm like, I'm gonna skip it. And I was super into it until they announced like what it was gonna be. So
yeah,
yeah, like I'm done with it. I'm not playing a lot of new games. I'm not playing any new games. Still playing Bravely Default 2. I got past where I was the first time I tried playing it, so that's cool. I'm dedicated to trying to finish the game this time. Still fun game if you like turn-based RPGs. It's does such a great job of like imitating a lot of the old school stuff while having some really cool new shit to play into it. So check that out. Also, just had this hanker to play Saints Row 4 for some reason,
Yeah.
and it's still a good game. Like seriously, it's still fun as hell. Like the superpowers are cool, the gameplay is kind of stupid, but so's the story. But that's kind of the appeal, right? The game's like dumb fun. So
It's fun. I feel like the powers kind of ruin certain aspects of that game. Like it makes the cars completely irrelevant,
oh yeah,
but they still
cars,
have
vehicles, all irrelevant.
that entire car system in there. So you can still like get cars, you can like summon them to you, you can still modify them. It's like it's all pointless.
Oh yeah, there's like no reason to do any of that stuff. Like it's really funny. Like that's still even in there. I don't know why. And there's a lot of quests that like the game's really big on like side quests. Like you could do side quests to unlock a bunch of shit, as you could in most games. But with this game specifically, it tells you like what you're gonna get finishing the side quest. And the side quests are all like, hey, do these like missions. It's like do these activities
Yeah.
that are in the world to finish these side quests, which is kind of lazy, but whatever. But it tells you what you're gonna get. One of them I haven't done yet, and it's like, oh, you can unlock like cyber vehicles, and I was like, why would I do that? I run faster than any car in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I could almost fly. Like, what's the reason for doing any of this? And the time it takes me to pull up the menu, call the vehicle, and then get into it, I'll already be there. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of dumb. Same with some of the weapons. Like, when you play Saints Row 4, the only version available on current systems is the what do they call it? The complete edition, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Re-elected.
Yeah, like all the it has the base game, all the expanded content, all the extra stuff. The game has like like special abilities that were available to if you pre-ordered the game or bought the season pass back in the day that are fucking broken as shit, dude. So every power has a element to it, and they all do something different. So there's this one called Blast, where you just shoot a blast of energy, and you can like do a freeze power that freezes people, or a fire one that like lights them on fire. One of the elements that you get, this is from the beginning of the game because it's like it's the downloadable content, so there's no like organic way to get in the story. As soon as you unlock the power, you have this element to use it with, called Blast. That is so goddamn broken. It's all about like explosions, and it's so broken. So Blast was no, it's called Explosion. Sorry. So that element just completely breaks the game. So when you do the blast power, you shoot a ball of energy that blows up whoever you hit with it, and anyone caught in that explosion also blows up. So you cause this like chain effect of just blowing dudes up, and then those dudes blow up other dudes. It's insane. Chain reaction. There's this one called Stomp where you just like stomp into the ground, and if you attach explosion to that, you turn anyone you hit that with into a fucking nuke. They fly up in the air, and they come back down, they explode. And there's no limit to how many if anyone that's around you within that contact of that turns into a fucking warhead. It's insane. And they come down, blow up vehicles, they fuck up other guys that didn't get caught in that initial blast. It's insane, the reach that it has. Telekinesis just turns anyone you pick up with into a bomb. Whether a person or a fucking car. I can pick up a tank, and the tank turns into a bomb, dude. Like, it's insane.
See, I think when I played, I did use the guns a lot because at a certain point you can just get, once you fully upgrade your guns, you just get infinite ammo, and like you never have to reload either. So
yeah, but with the powers, you don't have to do any of that shit. Like it's insane. Like telekinesis with blast is like, or explosion is what I've been using. You just turn everything into bombs. Like it doesn't matter. Like a guy can roll up in a tank, and you're just like, I'm gonna pick up that tank, and the tank starts beeping. and if you throw it at a guy, it explodes. So even guys that are like immune to telekinesis, like I'm gonna pick up every car within like a 10-foot radius around, like a 100-foot radius around me, and throw it at you, and the car is now a bomb. It's insane just how like broken some of these are. The game's fun though. Like it's a fun fucking game. Like it's really fun.
Did you get the reboot?
No, I haven't played the reboot yet.
Okay.
It was free on Epic a little while ago, but I didn't know about that till after they took it down. So
that's another game where people like to shit on it, but all you hear about it is like the story. And I guess it was a little buggy when it launched, but I would imagine they fixed some of the bugs at least by now. But like you hear just about like the story and the dialogue and the characters being shitty, and not necessarily the game itself.
With Saints Row, a big part of the appeal was like the characters and dialogue and story being so like goofy and fun. Like, so I could see like if you're a fan of Saints Row, you go and you play the reboot and the story's not hitting quite right like that.
But those games are always been fucking stupid. I mean, I don't know what
kind of stupid.
I can't imagine the reboot being
like that much worse.
Yeah. But I don't know, like Clay, our good friend Clay, every time we talk about Saints Row in the Discord, he's always the first to defend, like, nah, man, it's fun, man. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, but he also likes Crackdown, so like, you know, grain of salt here. He did the same thing about Crackdown 3, and like, I played Crackdown 3 the same time I was playing Agents of Mayhem, and I thought Agents of Mayhem was a better game. Like, they're both super repetitive, but Agents of Mayhem is at least fun while it does it. I'll give you an idea. I got bored with Crackdown in like 2 hours. It took me like, I think like 8 to 10 hours to get bored of Agents of Mayhem. So, you know, dribble with that. I'm also playing Asura's Wrath, which I was talking about last week. I got to play the first episode. I barely played the first episode of it, so I didn't have a huge opinion of it. I'm like 9 episodes into it now, and
nice.
It's fucking fun. Okay, fun not the right word. It's a playable anime is the closest I can get to. Like, it's a playable anime, and even like the actual gameplay part that like you think you'd be playing most of, it feels like a mini game. Like, it feels like I'm playing a God of War mini game within this Telltale style visual novel. Like, it's not even a point and click adventure game. It's not pointing and clicking. You're just like, you're fucking stuff up. Like, the whole thing. It is so fucking wild, dude, this game. Like, I knew it was going to be crazy, but Jesus Christ, I killed a guy the size of a planet, and that's like the 3rd episode. Like, his fucking finger is as big as a mountain, and he goes to squish you with it. You just like catch it and then punch it until he explodes. Like, this man, and then he dies, and he just comes back. He's too fucking angry to stay dead. Like, he dies, goes to, I assume, hell. Like, I think they call it Naraka, but I assume that's like hell. And he climbs out after like 1,000 years. And then he dies again, and he cuts that shit in half. He makes it out in 500 years next time. Like, wow. This dude's insane. It's just so crazy. And I thought, I seriously thought, like, it's gonna be the whole game, just me being angry and killing these guys. But no, there's some revelations that happen later that actually got me like interested in it. Like, I'm impressed with how like into this I am. Calling it a video game is a stretch though. Like, I'll be honest here. It's a stretch because most of the action is like quick time events. There are some gameplay elements, but they're not that fleshed out. Like I said, the God of War parts feel like a God of War like mini game in another game. And there's some like space battles and stuff that kind of turn into like Set and Punishment style, like, you know, rail shooters.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool. and it's all pretty. It's serviceable. Like it's not like Devil May Cry, but it's serviceable. And at first, when I heard about this game, I was like, well, why don't they just make it into an anime and just watch it? Which, yeah, would work, but there's something about like playing through it that really gets you into it. I don't know what it is, man, but there's a hype there. When like, yeah, you can watch this guy like punch a fucking guy the size of a planet. But there's something about like mashing that B button and doing it. I don't know what it is, man. It unlocks something primal in me that like really gets me into the game.
I think there's a scene here.
That's the scene right there. That's the third episode this shit happens. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is insane. Like it's so crazy, like how wild this game is. And again, like you can get by watching it on YouTube. I think the whole thing's on YouTube. I'm sure there's like people who played through it. You can just watch it in one long movie. But there's something about playing it, man. There's something about playing through it, being the one to hit that button. Even like the God of War style parts of the game. Like there's something about like being there, being the one to like actually like fuck these dudes up, build up that rage meter, set it off, and then play through the quick time event that comes after. There's something about it, man. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's so immersive. It immerses you into the game. You are Asura. Like, not on that, but it unlocks something in me that like makes me pay attention to it more than just watching like an episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, it's weird, but it's so much. It's so cool. Like, I have a smile on my face the whole time I play through this game, dude. Like, I'm legit like smiling and I'm like laughing. Like, what the fuck is this shit? This is crazy. But it's cool, man. I dig it. Like, it's really cool. The DLC is kind of egregious. Like, the game itself was like $4. I paid $12.50 for the game and all the DLC. So, you know, take that information. But I'm having fun with it, bro. Like I'm having a lot of fun with it. The game is so wild, and I know I keep saying that, but it's fucking crazy, dude. Like, this guy does not do shit that I expect. Like, I played a lot of games like angry guys doing angry stuff in quick time events. I played God of War. Like, I know how it is. Like, but this guy, Asura, does some shit I was not expecting. There's this one fight with this guy. He takes off in a fucking it's on a ship, and he takes off in like a lifeboat. Not a lifeboat. What do they call them? What am I talking about? Like an emergency escape pod. And the guy's like, I left. Like, Asura's stuck on the ship now. And he looks out the window, and Asura's fucking out there, like on the fucking emergency pod. And I was like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna rip the thing all open and like tear him out? No, he fucking he hugs the fucking emergency pod and crushes the guy inside of it. Like, it's so unnecessary. Like, he has the strength to rip the fucking thing open and pull him out and fuck him up. But no, he's gonna like crush it. He grabs it, hugs it, and you're mashing the button. You're fucking moving the sticks. I move the sticks outward to move my arms out, and then inward to like come in and hug it. And I'm mashing the B button as I crush it. And the guy's like, Asura, no, don't, please. He's like begging, and he's like, nah, I'm doing this. You're fucking getting crushed, dog. And he's like, just like screaming, and he fucking crushes this with it in his arms, the dude inside of it. It was fucking insane, dude. I was like, this is not happening right now. This is so crazy. Oh my god, I'm having a blast with it. Like, this is a insane game. Have you ever played it? You ever played this game, dude?
I played it a little bit on PS Triple.
Yeah.
But not enough though. I might even still have it. I might even still have the ISO for the and the emulator.
Give it a shot, dude. It's like, it's fucking crazy. Like, don't go into this expecting like a game though. It's like, it's an interactive anime is the best way I can describe it. And my problem is that like I have ADD, so when a cutscene starts in a game, my brain tells me like, oh, I can scroll my phone now. I can check my text messages now. Don't do that. It's like, this game will sneak a fucking quick time event on you. And I'm having fun with it still. Like, I'm still having a lot of fun with it, man. My only complaint if I had to complain about something, I know what the game's going for, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I wish there was more gameplay. I wish I could actually play this video game." Like, no, that's not what the game's trying to be. Like, if you bought this game expecting that, that's on you. You fucked up. Like, that's not what the game is. But I will complain though that I'm playing it on Xbox Series X, and the fact that this doesn't have any sort of like enhancement is like criminal. This game would be incredible running at 60 FPS, 4K.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. I've seen like mods of it that people put up online of it running at 60 FPS, and it looks fucking beautiful. I wish this had that kind of like enhancement for Series X, but it does not. So that's a bummer. You are playing at 30 FPS, which isn't bad when you're watching the cutscenes and the quick time events. When you're actually playing the like the Sin and Punishment style gameplay or the God of War style gameplay, like that gets obnoxious playing that 30 FPS. But it's not a huge problem. But if you're one of those snobs that's like, oh, anything less than 60, I'm not gonna play, like skip it, because there's no way to fix that unless you run on an emulator and mod it. That's all I gotta say about that. Hopefully I have it finished by the show next week, but I'm into it, man. I'm having a blast with it. Gaming news: Diablo IV announced Season 3, Season of the Construct. This looks cool. It's the Season of the Construct has a little robotic companion. What do they call them? Seneschal?
Yeah.
Something like that. And it has certain abilities you can customize. And it could do all kinds of shit, from like attack enemies to heal you to block damage to crowd control, whatever you want it to do. So there's plenty of ways you can like customize this to complement your build and how your build works, which is awesome. Like, I love that. I can't wait to fuck around with that little guy. If I fuck around with it, I'm gonna go onto a wiki and find like what the meta is and just copy that.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I found in the Season of Blood, I found it very fun to just invent my own build.
Yeah.
And just take that to the end, and it was end game viable. So, well, maybe not end game, but I took it all the way like level 90 something. So,
I haven't played Diablo 4 in a minute, so I'm still like level 60 something. I booted up last night and like actually finished the story content for it, so that's cool.
Jesus, you only just now finished the champagne?
Yeah, I haven't been playing it a lot. Like, by story content, I mean like the story content for the Season of Blood. Like, I killed the big bad vampire guy.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. I want to get back into it, and there's no way I'll be able to finish the actual seasonal content, like all of it, before the 23rd. Like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. But I am excited for this new season of the Construct, though. Like, there's some cool stuff they're introducing. A new dungeon type called Vaults. It has stuff like traps, bosses, and upgrades for your Seneschal. There's the Gauntlet. It's a weekly level 100 dungeon. That's the same for everybody for that whole week. So there's no like luck there, and it tracks your score, puts you on the leaderboard, and gives out tiered rewards based on where you score on that leaderboard, which is fucking cool.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Rifts from Diablo 3, but like less randomness, which is really cool to see. That season's gonna start the Tuesday, January 23rd, so in a couple days. And there's gonna be there's a live stream today, so we can get more info on it. Honestly, I think I'm gonna skip that because I kind of want to go in like a little surprised. I'm gonna try like kind of playing it however I want to start with, and then maybe go to like an established build later. But it looks cool. It looks cool.
There's a lot of stuff they didn't talk about yet. I know one of the things is they're still updating the base mechanics of the game. So like, one of the things they said they were doing in this update was they're adding WASD movement for your keyboard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why you do that. Okay.
Well, so you can play like an actual video game.
I'm playing it just fine with a mouse, but okay.
But yeah, that was one of the things. So there's a lot more to the update than just this seasonal shit. But
That's cool to see. That's cool to see. We'll see when that comes out. Excuse me. I'm definitely gonna play it. It's coming out Tuesday, so I'll be able to play it. I'm working that day, so I'll be able to play it like that day. I can probably play it later that night or the next day, but I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. I'm excited for it. And I'm gonna keep playing this at least until Path of Exile 2 comes out, because I think Path of Exile 2 is gonna be what gets me to quit Diablo, honestly.
yeah,
Um,
unless
or Titan
Diablo
Quest
gets
2.
really good. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Titan Quest. I don't think that's soon though.
no, it's not. It's not anytime soon.
Yeah.
You can still get the first Titan Quest on Steam for like $20.
Last Epoch
And
is almost releasing too.
is it? Oh,
Yeah,
you played a bit of that. That's good too, right?
it's really fucking good.
Yeah, I'll check it out too.
Yeah.
I want to get into Titan Quest again because I own it on 3DS, but I want to get it on PC.
My
Especially since the PC version has all this like new content that came out like recently.
I just
I
need
think games are getting
my
quick.
big thing is controller support. That's why I always go back to Diablo because they just nail the controller experience, and no one seems to want to just copy that. So I usually just stick with Diablo. But
Oh yeah,
if the other games nail it, then I will be playing lots of them.
yeah. I love these types of games, man. So
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to play. I'm gonna play this new season. I'm gonna give Path of Exile 2 a shot because that looks incredible when that comes out, and Titan Quest 2 whenever that comes out. Give Last Epoch a shot too whenever that comes out. Coming to Game Pass. Those Who Remain is available now for cloud console and PC. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank is available now for cloud console and PC. F123 is available today for console
Yes,
and PC. Power World available tomorrow for cloud console and PC.
I
I am
am.
so sad I'm working tomorrow, man.
I will be here. I will be fucking playing this. I will be playing this.
I am
Some
so sad I'm working tomorrow, man.
some streamers got it early and they've already been playing it, and the word on the street is it's incredible.
Yeah,
So it is better than you expected, and I expected very little having played that other game that they made,
Craftopia.
Craftopia. I'm like,
Yeah,
it feels unfinished.
yeah,
um, but from the word on the street is this is way better. So
yeah. I was impressed with the trailer we got, but I was also like hesitant. I'm like,
skeptical.
okay, yeah, exactly. Like it looks good, but I'm not gonna sit here and sing its praise until it comes out. But yeah, you're right. Word on the street is that it's really good, so I can't wait to play it.
Yeah.
I should be home like later that night tomorrow, so I'll be home at like I get off work at 7. Usually don't leave the office at like 7:30. I'll probably be home at like 8 o'clock, and I put the baby to bed. So I'll probably be on playing like 9:30, 10. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna play it. I want to try it. At least if I can just get like an hour in, I'll be happy. And then I'm off Sunday, so I'll probably be playing it all day Sunday. But we'll see. But no, it looks good. Go Mecha Ball is dropping January 25th for Cloud Console and PC. Brotato is dropping on Cloud Console and PC January 30th.
Yeah.
Fun game. Fun game,
Yeah.
Brotato. Own it on, I got it on iOS. Fun game. If you like those, what do they call them, ass games?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Vampire Survivors, like those are fun. Persona 3 Reload is dropping on Cloud Console and PC February 2nd. I cannot wait, dude. I already got it preloaded. I just gotta wait for it to once that clock hits February 2nd, I'm playing it. I can't wait.
There's a some great gets this
Yeah.
week for or
Yeah,
this
great
month.
guts. I'm working that day it comes out, unfortunately, but I'll probably end up taking the day off. We'll see what happens. I still got time to put in a vacation request. It depends on what work looks like. Work's been kind of crazy, so I could use my vacation time, but I can't really afford to use my vacation time. How busy things have been.
Yeah.
If I take a day off of work, it's gonna set me back so far. But we'll see. And then Anna Shard, February 6th. I don't know what that is, but it's coming out Cloud Console and PC. So check that out, man. Game Pass just keeps on giving, dude. I'm excited. In some quickie news, Bethesda Game Studios announced Elder Scrolls Castles from the Fallout Shelter guys. Fallout
Yeah.
Shelter makes sense as a concept, but Elder Scrolls Castles,
I'm not totally sure what the game is because they don't really show much. But
if it's from the Fallout Shelter guys, I have an idea what it's supposed to be.
it looks similar but not quite.
Yeah,
But I didn't really play much of Fallout Shelter, so I'm not totally sure.
I played quite a bit of Fallout Shelter, so um, we'll see when it comes out, man. If it's anything worth checking out, we'll see.
What I would say is that it doesn't give you that Elder Scrolls vibe, you know?
No, for what I'm seeing here, it's giving me like a Fable vibe.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like there are Argonians and lots of them in the trailers and images.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not really getting Elder Scrolls out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. So we'll see when that drops, man, like what it's supposed to be, but I don't really care, honestly. I
Yeah.
don't really care. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes out what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like. Oh, excuse me. Oh, god damn it. Oh, excuse me. Fuck. Far Cry 7 is rumored to feature a time limit mechanic. Any word on how that's supposed to work, or just like that's what's happening?
It's just a rumor, so no one fucking knows. I don't even know how it started, but people are reacting to this as if it's the worst thing fucking ever. As if like Dead Rising didn't exist to prove that you could do something like this and do it well.
Yeah, and the worst game of the Dead Rising franchise is the game that got rid of the time limit mechanic. So let's just throwing that out there, you know.
I like games that do shit different, that
Yeah,
actually dare to do something new and unique, despite whether it may be good or bad. As long as it's unique, I'm like, I can fuck with this. It's the reason why. It's the reason why, like Dark Souls is so popular, is because Demon Souls came out, and from what I remember about that game, people fucking hated.
yeah,
people,
nobody liked it.
yeah, like people fucking hated that game when it came out. Aside from like a sub niche of people who are like, this is fucking awesome. I finally a game that's super difficult and hardcore and actually tests my skill as a gamer, and yeah, and it grew to be very very fucking popular. Or like Death Stranding is another example where, despite whether you hate or love that game, the concept is entirely fucking unique, and I will never forget that game just because of how unique it is. And in many ways, not just the walking simulator part, but he's got a fucking canteen that turns water into monster energy. Like there's so many unique things about that game, and that's what I like. I like when games, or like the Nemesis system, where everyone was like, "Oh, people are gonna fucking copy this shit," and then no one ever did, and now people really can't because they've copyrighted that system somehow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's like tons of I like unique mechanics, so
Yeah, same.
I feel like there's a way you could do this time limit thing. The whole premise of the game is rumored to be your like family gets kidnapped, so I guess the kidnappers impose some sort of time limit, ransom type of thing, to where you have 1 week to comply or we murder everyone. And that, I don't know, that makes sense. That I could see that being like a cool mechanic.
I can see it too. Or if people are pissed off about the time limit thing, instead of it being like a physical time limit, like like Dead Rising was, where X amount of hours equals like, or X amount of minutes equals to X amount of hours in game, you can do like what Persona does, where every choice you make like is one game day.
Yeah.
Something
Persona
like that.
has a time limit.
Yeah.
I've never taken
Define
it.
time limit.
I've never
Yeah.
taken it to the end, so I'm not sure how that plays out if you just ignore it. But
So the time limit in the sense that like every action you take is an in-game couple of hours,
yeah,
and you can only do a certain amount of them before you finish a day. And there's only X amount of days you're there that the game is available, right? Because the game's calendar keeps going.
yeah, but at some point it pulls you into the. Someone gets pulled into the world, the dark channel, and if you don't rescue them by the time, right? Like that's the time
Game
limit.
over. Yeah, game's over. Yeah, and like stuff like that, I can see like working for a Fallout game. You know, do you want to spend your time like, you know, every time you do something, it could be like, raiding an encampment or doing a side quest or something that takes up like in-game hours. I can see that working.
Yeah, or maybe like because it is an open world with a bunch of like side missions and shit. Maybe you could extend your time by doing some sort of like side mission.
Yeah, see, there's a ton of things you can do with that I think could work. We'll see how they implement it. If it is real, I'd love to see how they implement it. So
Yeah,
that's ballsy on them to do that with like a numbered game, you know,
yeah.
instead of like, oh, here's Far Cry 6, like Lost in Space or something, or Far Cry 6 Zombies. Like I would expect the mechanic to be something like that, but
Yeah,
no, here's Far Cry 7, and we're implementing this time limit mechanic. That could be cool. Like, good if it is true. Like the balls on them to do it with like a main numbered series entry. Like that's cool. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it. There's a lot of cool stuff though.
I just like I find it funny that people complain about a game that's been very stale doing something
Yeah.
new, where in the world where fucking every game is like a copy paste, like Marvel something or open world bullshit simulator, or like there's just I feel like a lot of games, popular fucking games, the games doing that so well today are just not very innovative.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that they're not good games, but they're not doing anything fresh. They're not doing anything new. Uh, aside from
Far Cry 6 has been on Game Pass for like a week, and I have no interest in trying it.
Yeah,
Because
I
Far
actually
Cry
was gonna.
5 is like still a thing.
I was gonna install it, but I'm talking more of like the Spider-Mans and the
Oh yeah.
I don't know,
God
like
of War.
God of Wars and shit, where they're not doing anything fucking crazy. Like they're just good games on their own merits, but they're
Which is
not like
fine,
pushing
but
anything forward.
yeah. Exactly. Like I knew this dude who like was super into like Horizon. It's like one of his favorite games. And I'm like,
Horizon, a perfect
do you-
fucking example, because Horizon, and I gave this game so much shit when it came out, and everyone was like, "Well, you're just a hater." But dude, Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but for me, the game was super fucking derivative of its peers, because it was just a copy of Far Cry. It was Far Cry, it was Assassin's Creed, it was Shadow of Mordor. It was like all of these games in like one package, and like really the most unique thing about it was like the dinosaur shit, which is really cool. But even that was
cool,
kind of,
but it's not enough to like carry a whole game for me. Like
yeah. And yeah, I guess if you've never played any of those games before, then Horizon would have been like the shit for you, because you've been like, holy shit, this is awesome. But I played every single one of those games, and like by the time Horizon was doing it, also I played it after Breath of the Wild, so
oh yeah.
it like it was just like bad timing for that game, where it was just like, yeah, like everything it's doing is just tired right now. So, but yeah, like Horizon is a perfect example where everyone loves it, but it's not doing anything new. So I just don't really get it, other than like it's a beautiful game, technical marvel,
Yeah.
extremely impressive, But
Yeah, all that I can get behind it. Like it's a good looking game. It's got a unique setting, unique creatures. All that's really cool, but I've played this game before. Like that's the thing. Like
yeah,
I've played this game before. Like that's what drives me nuts about it. Um yeah, and that's it. I've played it. I've played it. So we'll see if like if this rumor's true, it might get me to like pick up the new Far Cry because it's something different, something cool.
yeah,
But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens with it if it is actually anything cool.
yeah. It was like Far Cry 2, and you had the Far Cry 2 was like the biggest, I think, difference. It was like the last from like 2 to 3, really. But 2 was like because you had the malaria thing, you had there was like so much more like immersive sim stuff in it, where you actually had to
Dude,
like
yes.
open your map up and like look at a physical map and like map everything out.
You had to be careful with fire because if you threw a
Yeah,
Molotov in the wrong place, it lit the whole fucking savannah up. Like you had to be
yeah,
careful. And what's cool with the game, I played it a while back. I might re-download it because it's legit a good game. Is the game? It's you and the environment. You know what I mean? Like you're not like there's not this like crazy skill tree to unlock all this broken shit to make it
yeah,
easier. It's like it's you, the mechanics, the environment. Figure out how you're gonna make it work. Like
yeah.
it's very oppressive in that atmosphere, and it puts a lot on you to figure your way out. And I like that about it. Um, and again, you could like make friends with the locals, and they might help you out with the quest. Like, hey, before you fuck this guy up, I know you have a mission to like kill this guy. I know a back door to get into his compound to make it easier on you.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. The game's very mechanically driven. Like,
That's
it's
another
not so much
rumored.
like
There's another rumored mechanic for Far Cry. We're talking about this a lot more than I thought we would, but another rumored mechanic is like an interrogation system where
ooh,
you can like interrogate certain enemies for information, and maybe they can give you false information. That was one of the things that they give you false information, and you may like check that out. Maybe like lose time or something.
oh,
Uh,
Phantom Pain had something similar. You could like
yeah,
if your mission was like, go in and save Huey, you can like grab a guy and be like, hey, where are they keeping Huey? And then he'll tell you like on the map where he is.
yeah.
Like I love this. That's cool. Like we'll see what happens with it. Like yeah, let's move on because we're talking about this a lot more than I think it deserves. But I want to see like what they do with it. If it's something cool, I might pick it up. Like we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
Um, Xbox having a developer direct today. I have the developer direct YouTube pulled up, and it's set to drop in like 2 hours. So
Okay.
actually, I lost it.
I think it leaked earlier that Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn is coming to Xbox.
Oh yeah.
So that I think people are thinking that that's going to be the shadow drop. That's going to be the um Hi-Fi Rush shadow drop this year is
That'd be cool to see.
yeah.
But
Which
all
would be
they should
great.
do, Shadow Drop FF14 on Xbox and same day bring it to Game Pass with all the DLC. That'll be cool. It's not gonna happen, but that'd be fucking cool.
Well, I mean, it's a subscription based game, so it already comes with a free trial
True.
where you can like play a significant portion of that game for free.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they would tie it into Game Pass. If they have some tie into Game Pass, that would be very interesting. Not just some tie in, but like a good like, hey, if you subscribe to Game Pass, you can just play the game. That would be insane. But
I have the direct pulled up and I'm looking at the comments here and this guy's like, nobody cares about this direct. And he's saying that like in a chat of like 2,000 people.
2,000 Xbox fans that are just dying for Xbox has come up. Oh, I didn't put it in here.
There's some dumbass takes here. Like Steam Deck killed the console wars. Really, dude? Come on. Shut the fuck up. Sony wants Xbox games. No, they don't.
I didn't put it in here, but they announced the release date for Hellblade 2. I thought they did. Maybe not.
We'll probably see it during the direct.
I thought
It
they had
starts for
a.
2.5 hours, so
Oh,
that'll give me some time to like after the show go like take a shit, get some groceries.
was it Stalker? Maybe it was Stalker.
Ooh, Stalker. That's one I want to see. Um,
Maybe not. I thought I saw release date trailers for these, but I guess not. Okay. Foam Stars got a release date trailer though.
yes, Homestar's got a release date. This game that a lot of people were calling calling a Splatoon clone, which
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of, but
it has its differences. I'll give them credit. You know, you can actually stand on the shit that you shoot out and
it's
alter.
available on more than just Nintendo systems. So
Well, I mean, it's exclusive to PlayStation,
is
so
it? I thought it was on PC too.
I do not believe so. If,
Oh,
but we can find out. I think. I
oh, well,
guess.
fuck this game.
I think that's the problem. So it's launching on. I don't want to give misinformation, so let's find that out. It says PS4, PS5 in the.
A game this weird and this niche should not be a console exclusive. You want to get this game to as many people as possible, man.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
problem. So it's launching on PlayStation Plus. So that's the, I guess, the positive thing about it is that if you get it when it launches in February, it's going to be free for that whole month for all PlayStation Plus subscribers. However, a lot of people like to compare that to the success of Rocket League and Fall Guys because they did the same thing.
those
But
games are available on more than just
yeah,
PlayStation, though.
yeah,
That's the
both of those
thing.
games also launched on PC on the same date.
And
So
so,
I don't think Foam Stars is on PC. I think it's just PlayStation. So that I don't know. That could limit it. I don't know. But that's the main difference here is that it's just PlayStation. But yeah, in a game like this, you want it on as many platforms ideally as
yeah,
possible.
the game's way too weird and niche to like be on one platform. Like, it's not gonna find the audience it needs, especially if it's a multiplayer game. Like, there's no
Yeah.
fucking way you're gonna make that work on as a console exclusive. I mean, we'll see when it comes out, man. Like the release date's February 6th, so we'll see. But I'm gonna feel. I don't think the game's gonna do that well. It's way too weird to be a console exclusive, but we'll see. I've been wrong before.
Um it needs
And
a
the
good it
next,
needs a good soundtrack. It needs a
it
good
does.
cuz Splatoon has a lot more going for it than just the game itself.
Yeah, it's got a good single player campaign. It's got good music. It's got a good art style. It's got a fan. It's got a community behind it that love the characters.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
there's a lot behind it that makes it work. So we'll see if this can get the same success. Like,
yeah.
we'll see. Next is Transylvania Adventure of Simon Quest. This game is fucking great.
This is insane.
Yeah,
Uh
it's straight up as Castlevania too, but
but better. It's like that plus Mega Man almost,
yeah,
um a little bit of Metroid, but like not really. But it looks fucking cool as shit, man. I mean, it looks as Simon's Quest as you can get, but
yeah. And I love how,
mechanically,
yeah, mechanically it's got like Castlevania 4 in there.
yeah.
Like, and what I love is that, excuse me, the dude's name is Simon Quest. So, like, if that's not like tongue in cheek enough for you, like, that's fucking great. Their website is straight up just simonquest.com. Like, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I like this, man. I think this is great.
Yeah.
I was talking about it in the chat, and in the Discord. And like, if Konami's not gonna make another Castlevania game, I'll fucking take it where I can get it, man. And this is leads me
Yeah.
to get it. It looks like it's inspired by more than just Castlevania, though. Like I don't
Yeah,
know if
because
you saw,
this
but
enemy straight out of the Metroid, this like plant thing.
yeah. And before that, there's like a scene. Where is it?
Giant
Yeah,
enemy
about
crab.
58 seconds in, where he's walking and things turn like red, and he starts walking backwards, kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like it is like traditionally like Castlevania inspired, but there's a lot of inspiration from other games here.
Yeah.
That face at like 115, I think that's from like Mario 2
Yeah.
or 114. I think that's from Mario 2. So we'll see. I'm definitely gonna pick it up though. Like this looks good.
Yeah. This train car level is from Donkey Kong.
Yeah, which came out of the Super Nintendo, but so is that like plant boss. That's from Super Metroid, not
Yeah.
from like any of the NES Metroid games. So this looks cool, man. Like I'm into it. Like I'm super into it. I guess they're leaning on the Castlevania part super hard, but it looks like kind of a love letter to like really any NES games. It's never gonna happen, but I would love to see a Bobo's Big Adventure like release on console. Remember that game?
Vaguely.
I fucking love Bobo's Big Adventure. It's like it's straight up just like a playable like NES like compilation. I love it. Um, but no, we'll see Simon Quest when that comes out, 2025. God damn, 2025,
That's
really?
so far away. It looks
It's
done
so far
already.
away. It looks done, yeah. I don't know. I don't make games. I don't know what it takes to make games,
Yeah.
but they have a lot to show off, and it's still like another year of development. Like, I wonder what else they need to do. Plants vs Zombies 3. This just dropped. It's hot new trailer. Just dropped last night, earlier today. Plants vs Zombies 3. Welcome to Zomburbia. It's got that traditional tower defense Plants vs Zombies gameplay you like, but also like it has like kind of like a town building element to it, with like the way you can craft your neighborhood and build your way around it,
Oh, interesting.
which could be cool. Yeah, could be cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say they do need to add something new to this because they had two very similar games, and then there was like Call of Duty style
Yeah.
shooters, which were very
The
good,
second
by the
Plants
way.
vs Zombies kind of sucked though. Like it leaned too much into the free to play like aspect of it. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but this game though looks good.
Is there a release date on this?
Later this year.
Uh,
It's not in the trailer, but the IGN description says it's coming out later this year.
I wonder. I'm gonna turn the music on for a second because one of the things people don't know, the soundtrack for these games were dope.
Yeah, they're all fucking hype.
Oh, okay, that's just some generic shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think Laura Shigahara did the soundtracks for the first two games, I think,
Yeah,
and they were really fucking good.
yeah. I'm into this, dude. I want to check it out. I can't wait till it comes out. I love me Plants vs Zombies, dude.
Yeah, it's been long enough to do a new one.
Yeah, we need a new one for sure.
Dread Out 2 comes out on
Dread Out
Nintendo
2.
Switch.
What's Dread Out 2?
It's a horror game. It's like a Japanese horror game.
Oh, I've heard of this one. Yeah, I heard this one's
Um,
actually pretty good.
they're very cheesy.
Yeah,
Well, I don't. I only played the
like
first one.
it's like a Korean game, right?
It's either Korean or Japanese or Chinese. It's one of those. I thought it was Japanese,
Hold on.
but
Ugh, God damn it! Look at the Steam page pulled up.
they're cheesy because I don't remember. I played the first one, so but I thought it had like English voice acting, so it was bad in that way, but also just cheesy in that way too. and this one seems to be doing a lot more.
Yeah. It's cool it's coming out for Switch. I mean, we'll see what it looks like. I don't know how that's gonna look on Switch, but we'll
I
see.
mean, it didn't look great not on Switch either,
That's
so
true. That's true.
they don't have much to do here.
Yeah, that's true. Can't wait to see it. Thursday, January 18th. Yeah, Dreadout 2 is out today. Prince of Persia, Lost Crown comes out today. That looks incredible.
They are talking about this game as if it is an early game of the year contender.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And it looks
Nines and
good.
tens
It
everywhere.
looks good, bro. It looks good. Like, it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So, I'll check that out when it comes out, man. Or it's out already, but I'll check that out when I have money. I should say.
Yeah. One of the ways I usually do Ubisoft stuff is I would subscribe to their thing for like 1 month and just play everything that's on there.
That's not a bad idea. I might just do that to play Prince of Persia.
Yeah, because this one's on there. Mirage is on there still. Yeah, they got stuff on there. That Poobin is in the chat. Said, "What game was it?" You're gonna have to specify which one. You have to specify which one you're talking about there.
Yeah. No, Prince of Persia Lost Crown looks good. Then we got
The horror
Yuna, the
game?
Haunted Hot Spring.
The horror game is Dreadout 2.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in here. But also, we put out the show notes for every stream. So
Yeah.
if there's anything you missed, all the links will be in there.
Also today we got Yuna, the Haunted Hot Spring release, and the thrilling, steamy Maze Kiwami. That's a long fucking name. Releasing on PC, mobile, Switch, and PS5. It's a hentai game. Did you put a hentai game in here?
I don't think so. It looks like one though.
It looks a lot like one. Looks very close to one. Oh well, we can check that out now. It may or may not be a hentai game. Another Code Recollection. It's dropping tomorrow.
Oh, this is the
How'd
one
you
they
like-
teased on Switch. They teased as
Yeah.
a 3DS port, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. Actually, I don't think it was a 3DS game. I think it was a DS game.
Oh shit.
But no, yeah, they're supposed to be super good. Like I heard about these games like forever ago. They make a lot of those like, oh, here's like 10 DS games you never heard of. Like those are always on those lists.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, we'll see what the consensus is for. But I've heard these Another Code games are super good. And it looks like, yeah, this totally just like remakes the game ground up. Because I think those older games are like 2D point and click adventure games.
Oh yeah. I mean, they would have to reformat it for Switch play anyway, so
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so this looks cool. We also got Last of Us Part 2 Remastered coming out on PS5. That's the one that has that new game mode, right? The
Yeah.
roguelike mode.
Yeah. People are talking about this as if they're done with this remastered shit. Not that it's bad. I mean, the game itself is always pretty good, but it's like the remaster. They're like, this is the one that's like breaking the camel's back almost, where it's like, yeah, there's no reason for this to exist almost.
Yeah.
But
then like, I saw this thing earlier today. It was some post, I think from like IGN or something, and they were like, oh, the roguelike mode for Last of Us is good, but it doesn't hold a candle to the God of War roguelike mode.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but you paid for that though. Like that was like separate content to pay for, wasn't it? Like this is free with that version of the game.
No, the God of War one was free.
Was it?
I believe so. Yeah, it was just a free update.
Oh, never mind then.
No, this you have to pay for, but it is just $10. Am I correct? If you already have it,
No, I think it's free if you already have it, isn't it?
I thought it was $10. I think you got it backwards. This one's a $10 upgrade. The God of War one was a free update.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Someone correct me in
Hold
the
on.
chat. If
Hold on.
we have a lot of PlayStation fans in the chat right now, so they would know. But yeah, I think this is a $10 upgrade, and God of War was free. So, and the God of War one adds a lot more context story wise. So,
Yeah, you're right. $10. It is $10 to upgrade.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought it was free.
Nah.
Well,
Nah,
shit.
dog.
Okay.
Pooh's a PC gamer. Okay. Yeah, you are now after all that regret of you buying that fucking PS5.
PC is the way to go, man. Just saying. Like,
PC and
PC's
Switch.
great. PC and Switch, yeah. PC is great. It's backwards compatible with like everything.
And eventually everything will end up there. So
Yeah.
if you're patient enough.
Stick with that. January 23rd, we got Graven releasing on PC. I heard about this game. It's like a
Boomer shooter.
it's like a boomer shooter mixed with like immersive sim, I think. Oh no, never mind. I think it is a straight up boomer shooter.
I heard they added that as an official tag in Steam, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't see it. If it is, I don't see it. No, I heard good things about Graven. It's been in early access forever, so.
Yeah, it's been on my wish list forever.
The recent reviews have been mixed. No,
Uh-oh.
overall reviews have been mixed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
I'm
See
seeing
what
a
the
lot of
problem is.
positives, a lot of negatives, so.
Yeah. You know, that's a good thing about early access is you can get a lot of good feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
January 23rd, we also got Howl releasing on PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's available now on PC. It's a turn-based tactical folktale game. Interesting.
Okay.
You fight what is that? Werewolves? Interesting. I like the art style. It looks like a storybook.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Neptunia, Sisters versus Sisters. They're still making these fucking Neptunia games?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh
Who's
yeah.
buying these? Who's buying these?
Oh, you know who.
Is that the appeal? Is that they're sexy? Is that the appeal of these games?
Maybe. Actually, I don't know. They're not bad games. I'll put that out there. They're not bad games. They're usually actually pretty fun.
New one like every year. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus
I think playing
Christ.
all of them is a little overkill. All you need to do is play one, but they're usually pretty fun. But just play one of them.
I'm not gonna buy a new one every time it comes out.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes they're pretty different. Like this one's a action RPG, so.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play the first one. Is the first one like on Steam?
Yeah.
What's it called? Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Yeah. I would say play the third one first.
Why?
Well, they're not really. It doesn't matter where you start. I think the third one's like they all have like minor differences. I think the third one's like the best one.
Okay, I'll check it out then. I'm playing so many RPGs already though. I'll get to it when I get to it.
These ones are actually pretty good though.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of them and you don't need to play them all. But,
I was gonna say like I hope I don't have to play all of them.
Yeah, just pick one and play that.
Okay, well that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, listening to us talk. We'll be back in about 2 hours for that developer direct, right?
Xbox, yeah.
Sweet, I'll be here for sure. I'm gonna go take a dump, get some groceries, and I'll see you guys all next week. You check us out on Discord and on YouTube. Go to Gameoverse.com/YouTube.
Rebel's like, what the fuck? You're late, man. You came in 2 hours late, my guy.
Yeah, bro. We started this shit like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
But you can come back in 2 hours again when we do the developer direct.
Yeah, we'll be back to talk about Xbox. I know you guys are really excited for some Xbox shit. All you PS5 owners in the chat right now. So, but no, we'll see.
You can come for the Xbox stuff, but stay for our scathing comments and our quick wit.
Yeah.
And our chemistry.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. But now, guys, we'll see you guys in about 2 hours. I'm going to go do some shit, get some errands run. And we'll see you guys here later.